Okay, go. Right, good day to you all, and welcome to the final Andrews virtual recruitment event. It's been a hell of a week. It's been wonderful to see so many joining us on this event. My name is Jason, Jason Obi. I'll be your host for the next half an hour. And today's event is focusing on specific roles. And we're going to be delving into some of the divisions within the Andrews Property Group and the wonderful opportunities we have within the company. Now, for the last 15 years, I've been extremely lucky to be given, or to have been given, the opportunity to work within our sales division, AEA, Andrews Estate Agency, our lettings division, ALM, and now the L&D team. Let me just put my photo up there. There we go. There's my photo, the learning and development coach. I just need to let you all know at each step of the way, I've had backing throughout. I've been fully supported across the board by the company, which is wonderful. This links me to, I want to talk just very briefly about our core purpose. And we have a core purpose, and that is trusted to take people to a better place. Now, this is external for our customers, trusted to take our customers to a better place. It also links to our unique ownership, and one of our guests will go into a bit more detail a bit later. But also, ever so importantly, this is internal as well. Trusted to take our colleagues, to take you, myself, to better places via progression, development and support. So that's our purpose for our colleagues and employees. We're going to find out a bit more about that a little bit later. But today is also about giving you all an insight into an incredibly unique property group. And we've got a few guests to help us with that. You can see them on the screen now. We've got Carl Howard. Hi, Carl. How are you doing? Carl is our Group Chief Executive. We've got Mike Morris just here with us as well, Mortgage and Protection Advisor. Hi, Mike, within our AMS division. So the AMS Andrews Mortgage Services. We've got Matt Burden with us. Love the wave. Business Assistant Branch Manager within our Sales Division. So the AEA again, Andrews Estate Agents. And we also have Ed.
Hello,
there's Ed, there's the wave. The Business Manager within our Lettings and Management Division. And lastly, but definitely not least, we've got Marta. Marta is our Talent Acquisition Advisor, our expert within acquisition. And Marta's going to run through the recruitment process, basically, the interview process, how to apply. Essentially, we are here for that reason. We're hoping to find like-minded individuals looking to work for this wonderful company. So,
I have a plain one as well, please.
At the end of this session, there will be, as you can see on the screen now, there will be a Q&A. If I could ask that we mute our mics up until that point, unless you're speaking, obviously, and one of the guests, then that would be really helpful. So if we could all mute our mics until we get to that Q&A part. Right, without further ado, let's move on. I'm going to hand you over to our first guest, and that's to Carl, our Group Chief Executive. Over to you, Carl.
Thanks, Jason. So as Jason says, I'm the Chief Executive of the Andrews Group. I'll tell you a bit more about the group as we get into this, but I've been here now for about 5 months. I joined officially in October. And I can honestly say I think Andrews is one of, if not the best organisation I've ever worked for. We have a real focus on honesty, open dialogue and authenticity. And our values as an organisation are absolutely key to everything we do. So we treat every customer as if they're our only customer. We value our people and we believe in giving back, and it's the giving back, I think, which makes this organisation fundamentally different. So just to tell you a bit about our unique business, we have quite a remarkable heritage. The business has been around now for 77 years, and it was founded in 1946 by a gentleman called Cecil Jackson Cole. Now, Cecil, although he's long dead, was quite the philanthropist. He used to believe in running his business really well and then using some of the proceeds to help charities, and he founded a number of well-known charities. So just to give you a flavour, he was one of the co-founders of Oxfam. He was involved in founding Land Aid and also Help the Aged, which is now part of Age Concern. So 3 of the UK's biggest charities sprung from this origin. And as a result, we have quite a unique charitable purpose. We are a business, so we're not a charity. What happens though is we aim to give a third of our profits as a dividend to the charity, Andrews Charitable Trust, for them to use to do good, often largely in the space of housing or people who are disadvantaged in some way. So our business is inherently positive in terms of giving back to charity. We are a smallish, but well-formed organisation. We're not the biggest in our market. But we're not the smallest. We have 47 branches spread across the southeast and the southwest. So from everywhere in the west, as far as Bath and Bristol, and then out into Essex and Kent in the east. So it's quite a broad territory. And we operate 6 different businesses. So residential sales, buying and selling houses, residential lettings, so helping landlords let properties to tenants. We have a financial service business, which helps people with mortgages and life insurance. And we also have a small business called Land and New Homes, which helps developers find plots and then helps those developers develop the plot and sell the houses on to customers. We have a couple of other businesses, so they're largely corporate, but one of them is our block management business, where we help leasehold companies. So that's blocks of flats where people have leaseholds, and we help those companies manage the property. And then our final business is a similar kind of business, helping West Bromwich Building Society and the Co-op, both of whom have very large property portfolios, and we manage those properties and help let those properties to tenants. And so, as you can see, we're quite a diversified group. I think it's one of the best businesses that I've ever seen. It's got a real USP, and I have a real passion for growing this business. Important to say, though, we believe in doing things differently. So we are, I would say, quite unique in our sector. We're different to other estate agency businesses. We have a bold vision. So part of that is about wanting to change the industry for good, for the benefit of customers. So we are aiming to help shape the way the industry operates to make the outcomes better for customers. And our ambition as part of that is to be the most trusted and admired in our sector, trusted by customers and by our teams, and admired by the regulators and by our competitors. And I think that's quite a lofty goal. We don't want to be the biggest, we want to be the most trusted and admired, and in a sector where actually trust is relatively low. And the way we're going to do that is by moving away from being sales led, which is what most of our customers do, and being more customer led. So we'll still be selling properties or letting properties. We'll do that though in a way which is customer led, so really focused on delivering an excellent experience for our customers. And we think that makes us relatively unique, surprisingly. And then in time, what we want to do is to be more values led, so use our values to represent ourselves in front of customers and to do the right thing. So that's a pretty lofty goal, and I'm excited to be at the helm. The thing that we need though on this mission is good people that believe in the mission, share our values, and want to be part of building the business. And so we're running these events, and we're really excited to get applications from candidates, because we need people like us who want to be part of that mission. And I think it really is a chance for you to be part of something special. Back to you, Jason.
Thank you, Carl. Thanks. That's a great overview. Personally, linking back to that unique ownership, for me, I just have to say, it's a bit cheesy, but I am extremely proud to work for a company. You know, I go to work, I enjoy my job, but in the background, this is all going on. You know, in the background, we make profits. We are a business, and those profits are then given back to help people. So thanks for that overview, Carl. Absolutely second everything you just said. Okay, let's move on. So I'm going to hand over to Mike. Now, Mike has been with us for 3 years, Mike.
Yep.
3 years.
That's right.
And within those years, you've achieved a fair bit. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to hand this over to you. And yeah, if you can just divulge your experiences within the company, that would be great.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much for that, Jason. And yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us and looking to find out a little bit more about us today. I'm Mike Morris. I'm a mortgage and protection advisor here at Andrews. And I do a slightly different role than you might automatically think from what you might think from an estate agency. You might immediately sort of picture the branch network, the staff within it sort of selling houses and so on. But my job is to effectively work very closely with our branches and our wider business to support our customers and work with our customers in understanding the financial side of buying a house. So working with them, helping them to understand and see what their options are in terms of getting a mortgage, which is kind of getting the big loan that they need to help them buy that home that they've got their heart set on. And then also to go a step further than that as well, not just to kind of leave them with this big mortgage, but also work with them in terms of what's called a protection side of it. So which is effectively kind of insurance policies that they need that are there to protect them just in case something were to go wrong in the future, like they would be unable to work for a little while. Wanted to make sure that if something unforeseen, something like that happens, then they're not going to be at risk of kind of losing this home that they've worked so hard their lives to build up and get themselves in a position of being able to buy. So that's like in a nutshell of kind of what I do for our customers within Andrews. I thought it might be helpful just to kind of explain a little bit about my background and how I came to this, because as Jason alluded to, I've only been with the business for just coming up to 3 years now, and I've not been a mortgage and protection advisor my whole career. I kind of had a bit of a different background and then came into this. So when I was younger, it's fair to say that I didn't have any kind of particular desire or dream of a particular career path which interested me. But what I did know was that I liked being around people. I was social. I liked talking. I liked understanding what made people tick. And I found myself just going down the route of entering into kind of just customer services, moving into kind of complaint handling and problem resolving type jobs. And then I thought to myself, well, do you know what? I'm building up skills here in terms of being able to kind of understand people and speak with them. And I thought I would, and I entered the recruitment industry. And I actually worked within recruitment for a kind of a recruitment agency for 10 years, actually, helping businesses to fill their roles and helping people to find new jobs. That was a really, really good platform for me in terms of honing skills around relationship management and just helping people out essentially. But in the back of my mind, although I was enjoying the recruitment environment, I did kind of always feel like it wasn't the industry or the role that I personally wanted to be doing right the way up until kind of retirement. And it was always in my mind, okay, so what am I going to do as my career that I'm going to do really long term? And I had actively identified mortgage advice as a role that I felt was absolutely perfect in terms of transferring my existing skills across into, in terms of being able to communicate with people, understand them, help them, guide them, but also, really play quite an impactful and important role for people when they're going through what is probably one of the most stressful and sometimes mind-boggling processes, which is, buying a property. And and that's what I'd actively identified what I wanted to do. But there was a couple of hurdles. You actually have to be qualified and take exams and pass them to be a mortgage and protection advisor, and you also need an opportunity to get into it and to start your career path, and that's where Andrews came to play for me, really. It was, to be honest, it was right in the middle of the pandemic, actually, in sort of early summer 2020, that Andrews were willing to sort of take a punt on me as an individual and give me an opportunity. I actually joined Andrews in June 2020, but within our property centre, effectively like a contact centre. So my first role within Andrews was speaking over the phone, using my customer service skills to be helping our customers to book viewings on properties, book valuation on the properties, and to kind of sell and talk about our mortgage services and book appointments for other advisors. But I did that very much on the basis that Andrews were a company that had a solid mortgage advice team within it, something that I wanted to do, and I knew that they were a supportive company that would help me and support me in doing that. And I was able to work hard within the property centre, become a top performer within that, study for my CMAP qualifications, which is the qualifications you need to become a mortgage advisor, all supported by Andrews. And then as soon as I was qualified and I passed those exams in May 2021, they moved me across and offered me a job as a mortgage and protection advisor. So, and that's what I've been doing since, kind of helping our customers to and holding their hand through the process, making sure they understand exactly what is involved, what their options are, and how best to kind of efficiently and cost effectively buy that kind of dream home of theirs. And that could be first time buyers that need all the help and guidance and understanding. It can be experienced property investors that are growing portfolios. It really is a diverse range of customers that I deal with, really. Why do I love doing my role, the mortgage advice, mortgage and protection advisor? It's really because of that. It's speaking with different people on a day-to-day basis. It's helping them, and it's really seeing the appreciation that they get from the advice and the guidance and the work that I do. That and when they get the keys in the hands of that property, and I know that they've got the best mortgage for them, I've managed to save them some money, and they're fully protected with the right insurance policies and so on. So I've given that full package service. It's a really pleasing experience. Why do I love doing it for Andrews? I guess really the first thing is the opportunity that Andrews gave me. Without Andrews, I wouldn't be sat here doing the role. They supported me with the study and moved me into the position, which is fantastic. I love the fact, as it's been mentioned already, that we're owned by a charitable trust. So I know that if I do work hard and I am successful for my customers, then it's not just my customers that are really going to kind of get that great service and benefit from it. It's also others in local communities of our branch branch network and further afield that are going to kind of see the benefits of my hard work as well. But I think also just that potentially that ownership and the ethos of the business is what makes it really satisfactory to me. Andrews are absolutely customer driven in making sure they do the right thing for the customer. So I am given the space, the time, the trust to do whatever is required for my customers, making sure that they understand everything that's going on and making sure I give them all the time that they need to really be, feel confident about, the process that they're going through fundamentally. So yeah, that's it really. That's kind of me in a nutshell, bit of background and what I do. Happy to take any kind of questions from anybody at all. If anybody's on LinkedIn, if you are on LinkedIn, feel free to kind of connect up with me and engage. Absolutely fine. If you don't know what LinkedIn is, then top tip, have a little look what that is. It's effectively Facebook for business, but you can set yourself up with a nice little profile and engage with people that interest you and businesses and so on. But yeah, that's it really. So back to you, Jason. Hope that was okay.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Mike. That was really, really good. You can definitely see, right, the transferable skills from your recruitment and trying to help people and the conversations that you have and the customer focus. But it was a big leap. It was quite a big leap. So that transition itself to AMS, how did you find the support? How did you find that, the support that you were given via Andrews? Because, yeah, it's a very different role.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd been in within one industry doing one type of job, which I'd really kind of honed my skills in for 10 years, and then made a complete sort of almost change. Yes, transferable skills, but it's a whole new area that needed to be learned. Thankfully, Andrews are really supportive around that. So obviously they gave me the opportunity once I was qualified to start with. But when I did start, I was put onto a course, which was led by an external business. I think it was a 6-day course where I was really, honing in my skills, my process, my knowledge, systems training, and so on. That then followed up with things like role plays and so on, so that I knew and felt comfortable with what to expect with upcoming meetings and appointments. And then when I did start doing my very first appointments with customers, I was sat actually within an environment with some other experienced mortgage advisors around me. So
Excellent.
I was always able to just kind of bounce off them,
Yes.
throw questions at them, listen to them doing the job well, so to help me kind of hone things for myself, really. But then, given the trust and the freedom by Andrews to then hone those skills and processes myself and kind of make it my own, really, which is great.
Love that. Thank you very much. That's a great answer. Great
Good
answer.
stuff. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. We're going to move on now. We're now going to move over to the Andrews Estate Agency division, so AEA, and we have got Matt with us. Hello again, Matt. And Matt's the assistant branch manager within our North Cheam office. And I believe you've been with us since 2004.
Yeah.
19 years.
Right.
So that's incredible. That's wonderful. So look, I'm just going to hand straight over to you. And just, give us a bit of an insight into your experience within sales.
Sure, thanks, Jay. My name's Matt Burden, been with the company for 19 years. I came in from retail. So my previous experience prior to that was 8 years in retail and retail management. I joined a recruitment day. I think running them at Premier Inns way back in the day. Saw an advert in a paper, went along to a recruitment drive, got an interview, had a chat. I felt so out of my depth. I felt my preconceived notions of what a estate agent would be or should be, I found very, very intimidating. So I just remember feeling massively underdressed and super intimidated, and going along and meeting a regional manager for Andrews, and similar to Mike's experience, what came out of that conversation was portable skills, or what they cited as portable skills. So the repetitive nature of retail, and the experience of talking to so many people over so many years, is a valuable one. And when I was recruiting for retail, it would always be if somebody had worked in a bar for 2-3 years, if somebody had worked in McDonald's prior to kind of self-checkout era, we would always give them a go, because that's what we want. We want people who are able to communicate. So I found it reasonably easy to kind of transition over, and thanks in no small part to the training that was on offer from Andrew. So plunged straight into a training program, and was lucky enough to be put into a branch with a very experienced manager, and was given all the resources I needed. The big difference I found, and the biggest, the most satisfying thing between retail and estate agency was, and I think Reece cited it yesterday in his talk, is that no 2 days are the same. No 2 days are the same. You meet so many people in this job. You're in and out of their homes. You meet so many different people in different circumstances. You learn lots, not just about estate agency, but about the world. I'm a big fan of the adage that you should talk to everyone. If you're kind of pigeonholed into just speaking to the same types of people, you're never going to evolve and learn. And this job has afforded me the opportunity to learn loads and loads. So you're sat across from different people every day. Everyone's got a different story, and I find that side of the job massively rewarding. So it is a people job. Have no illusions. It is a people job. I suppose that's the biggest part of the job that I love. As far as training goes, Andrew's a massive on on training and having their staff evolve, being part of courses that make sure you've got every part of your game honed. When I transitioned from being a negotiator to being a senior negotiator, so that's just selling through to valuing. Training was fantastic, and again paired up with a really experienced manager and set me up for success. And then when the transition came from senior negotiator through to assistant branch management, I attended the Andrews management training, which was a 6-month course. Fantastic. And that, yeah, you're set up to succeed. And then most recently, regulation is being brought into a state agency. So I've just recently passed the CPAP exam, which is that regulated exam for agency. So
it is.
Yeah, it's Andrews give you all the tools that you need. All I would say is be open-minded and listen. But not just to Andrew staff, but listen to the public, because every conversation that you have with someone just adds to your experience, and you'll be able to use that at some point. Be a sponge, I would say. So yeah, no 2 days are the same. For my role, for being an assistant branch manager, the part that I enjoy the most, twofold, being that kind of conduit between the staff and the manager. Training, hearing things that you say on a day-to-day basis to the public come out of your staff's mouth. You get over that kind of, hang on, you just stole that off me, very, very quickly, and suddenly it becomes pride, because you're seeing them listening to you and them having success. I think the way that Andrews has run helped me kind of wash away that negativity about a state agency, and I joined in 2004. Those recent polls where it says careers or people that are disliked by the public, and it'll always be traffic wardens, estate agents, etc. And I was very conscious of that when I joined Andrews, and I almost felt uncomfortable in my own skin of being an estate agent until I realized that actually I'm working for a company that doesn't perpetuate those behaviors that maybe the public, their preconceived notions kind of wiped away. Everything we do is for the customer. Everything we do is for our owners who pay us. So quite often I'll be quoted to say, if a buyer asks me what they should offer or asks me for a helping hand with an offer, I will always say, have no illusions. I work for the owner. Please simply offer what you think it's worth. And that isn't the experience they have with other estate agents. We're by the book. And as long as we make sure that as long as our agenda is the owner's agenda, we'll succeed. So it's always been good to work within that framework. There's no muddying the waters. No one's ever, asked you to do anything to steer you off of that path at all. The other thing that makes us different, I guess, is our charitable heritage. We'll go on and on and on about that, but it really does make us super unique. Andrews encourage us to get involved with ACT charities, Andrews Charitable Trust activities, fundraisers, events. If you have an idea, put your hand up and you'll be listened to. It might not be realistic, it might not be viable, but keep throwing them at them and eventually they listen. Fingers crossed. Carl, I'm still waiting for a call, but there you go. But yeah, I think Andrews are very good at spotting portable skills and spotting talents maybe outside of work that can be utilized within the business. Outside of work, in my spare time, I'm involved with events and presenting and bits and bobs, and it's felt of late utilized logically. So I've really definitely enjoyed that process. I'd mirror what Mike said. LinkedIn, certain areas of the company utilize LinkedIn fantastically well to champion their staff, to be cheerleaders for their offices. If you're on my LinkedIn, it's going to be a mixture of all kinds of things, but quite often it's going to be Google reviews for my guys and showing how amazing they are. And it's a fascinating tool, but I have to say that the LinkedIn network for Andrews has improved and improved and improved weirdly over the last 5 months. So I would definitely if you're not already using it, then definitely jump on and utilize that. But yeah,
Cool.
we feel supported, we feel championed using that medium. But I can't recommend it enough. I wouldn't work for any other agency. I'll hand back to Jay.
What an end statement there, Carl. Did you hear that? That was a wonderful. I won't work for any other agency.
Yeah, even though Matt's never listened to and hasn't just been asked to be the local marketing champion.
I think there's a particular event that we're talking about trying to get greenlit, Carl. We know what we're talking about.
Okay, Matt, I've got a question for you. I am conscious of time, but I think it's important, and we want to hear from everybody. But the question is this: there's been a ton of changes in our industry, right? Over the last 19 years, within your time within Andrews, there's been so many changes in the property world. What would you say has been the biggest change? Had the greatest effect within your world, within sales? Or the phone? Yeah.
The internet, for sure, and I suppose the portability of the internet. From a sales point of view,
yeah,
it's I don't want to say for a lesser salesperson, but it's meant that we have to up our game. I think buyers very easily write off properties that you send them, where that buyer, and actually if they step through the door, they would see what you see in the property and why they should take a look at it. And back in the mid to I suppose I can't say late 2000s, can I say late 2000s? So 2005 through 2011, I guess. You could phone someone and say, give me an hour of your time and I'll show you 3 properties that I know, as the person you've asked to find you a property, you could take them to them. And I think now that because information is so easy to get and marketing is so key, quite often you're sending properties to people and you'll phone them and say, have you received that house? Would you like to view it? No, I don't think I do. And it's just, it's infuriating. But Andrews are again unique in that we phone our applicants. We have to know the ins and outs of their needs. Why do you need a garage? Have you got an expensive car you need to house there? There's a real benefit to the training that we do, which is that we train people to find soft facts and find everything we need to know in order to make sure we find somebody the right house. So I think a lot of agencies are guilty of doing that kind of information dump, and they'll just send them 5 properties and never actually call them. Andrews phone people, not in a cold calling call center kind of way, it's with purpose. So I think that's the change, but I think Andrews temper that with employing very good salespeople who then train the next generation of salespeople.
Love that. Thank you. That's a great answer. It all does stem back to that customer service, the customer agenda. Let's have conversations with them, not just send them emails and so forth. Let's pick up the phone. Okay, moving on. Thanks, Matt. Cheers, buddy. That's great. I'm going to hand straight over now to Ed. Ed, you've been with us for 12 years, specialising specifically, it's easier said than done, within the ALM, the Andrews Lettings and Management Division. Straight over to you, my friend. So,
Perfect.
What can you tell us?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, I'm Ed. I'm the Lettings Manager of here in the Reigate office based here in Surrey. I've been with Andrews for over 12 years. Previous to working in the property sector, if you like, I worked in hospitality. And then I had a keen interest in property. So, I decided one day to speak to another local agent and get involved. And as I said, the rest is history. So, as I said, I've been with Andrews over 12 years. I initially started out with Andrews as a sales negotiator in our Red Hill office, where I progressed up the ranks, and then I progressed up the ranks to senior negotiator, and then I moved over to our Hawley office. And then while working within the Hawley office on the sales side, an opportunity came up on lettings, which sparked my interest, if you like, and I took that opportunity on. But in order for me to take the opportunity on, I actually took a step back in my career. So I went back to just being a negotiator and then worked my way up the ranks to senior negotiator once again, and then going on to assistant business manager, and then eventually getting the opportunity to become the business manager, where I've been for the last 2 years. Previous to joining Andrews, I did work for another local agent for about 4.5 years, and that was purely on the letting side. I left that company to join Andrews to get some experience on the sales side of the business, because I wanted to try and get as much experience of the property sector as possible. But then my call came, if you like, to go back to lettings, and yeah, as I say, the rest is history, and I took that opportunity. Since I've been with Andrews, I've undertaken and gained 2 qualifications, which I'm really, really proud of. And these are actually equivalent to A-level qualifications. And the nice thing is Andrews actually paid for me to take these qualifications. You know, they offered me the help and support with the learning and development of these. And this is something that Andrews is really, really big on, which is good, is the learning and development side. This also demonstrates Andrews' commitment to their staff, and in turn it helps us become experts in our field. And this helps us to be trusted advisors to our customers, whether they're landlords, tenants. You know, it's for us, it's about looking at the bigger picture. One day your prospective tenant might become a landlord of yours. So yeah, so for me, the best thing about my job and what I enjoy is seeing the customer satisfaction and happiness, you know, when the tenants are collecting the keys upon moving into their new home, or it's the landlords, you know, who are happy along their property journey. You know, this great customer service that we deliver is demonstrated with all the 5-star reviews that we are left, you know, from our many, many happy clients.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling when, you know, when you speak to a potential new customer and they say, you know what, I've been recommended to speak to you. You know, this shows, you know, that I am trusted, and the customers genuinely are happy and appreciate the service that they've received and that I've given to them. Having worked in the local area here in Redhill, Reigate for 15 years plus, I've managed to build great relationships with customers, you know, and they trust in me. I've helped many happy tenants go on to be property owners via Andrews, and then some of them have actually gone on to come back to us and become landlords with Andrews, just purely on the customer service that they have received from ourselves, you know, which is really, really great. My nickname here in the Reigate office is actually Mr. Reigate, because whenever I'm out and about, I always bump into someone that I know.
Ed, I didn't know where you were going there.
It's quite funny. I was just earlier on in the week, I was just come back from being abroad, and I was at Gatwick Airport. I was with some friends and I actually bumped into a previous tenant, and I stopped and had a chat with him for a little while. And the people I was with, like, how do you know this person? I said, don't worry. It's all to do with work. You know, another happy customer, as they say.
Nothing.
And I spent a bit of time with them, and they're telling me that they've just recently moved into a new property. So helpful and thankful for all the help and support that, you know, they were given through their journey, which is nice to know.
Yeah.
In terms of lettings, what I'd say, every day is different. You know, there's just no 2 days that are the same. You know, I would always find it hard to be in an office, just sit in a desk from 9 to 6. That's not my way, if you like. So, you know, my typical day will start about 8:45 in the morning. I'll hold a morning meeting with my team. You know, review yesterday's events, you know, whether that's viewings, valuations, and also look ahead to today's appointments, see what's happening, discuss business opportunities, you know, see where we can make some money, if you like, and help customers out. We also, you know, deal with new inquiries. You know, we live in a world where social media is very predominant, so we get a lot of inquiries from social media. You've got the property portals, so we deal with all the new inquiries, speak to customers, but build relationships with them and see if we can help find, you know, their new home for themselves and their family, which is really good. Also a part of that, we deal with, you know, offers, speaking to landlords, advising them in, you know, that respect, which is really good. Negotiating. There's also a lot of paperwork and admin that goes along with that side of the business as well, so making time to find all that. But it's also, you know, keeping in contact. You know, I could have gone out to a potential landlord 12 months ago, but it's about keeping that regular contact with them and seeing if we can help them out. You know, so going back and speaking to them and seeing if we can help them out. So yeah, you know, there's many other varied stuff, doing property inspections, just going to make sure, you know, they're ready for new tenants to move into, clean, you know, the safety aspect, if you like. Smoke alarms are working, carbon monoxide alarms are working. There is so much to do in that respect.
Yeah.
You know, and here in the Reigate office, we're you know, we are in charge of our own Instagram account, for instance. You know, it's keeping on top of that, if you like. But yeah, there's so many different things we do, and that's just a small little insight. You know, but as I did say previously, no 2 days are the same, you know, and which is nice in that respect. One of the things I feel so special about Andrews, you know, is the fact that we are owned by a charitable trust, you know, and this helps us to install our core values. It's something that we're all really proud to shout about. In that respect. You know, over the years, I've had some great experiences. I've taken part in some amazing charity events, you know, from helping local funds for local care homes for young care leavers, if you like, Sleeping Rough to raise money for, you know, youth homelessness, and also Andrews are headline sponsors for the Run Reigate Half Marathon, which is coming into its 10th year this year, something that we're really proud to be sponsors. And that marathon alone has raised over £8 million for worthwhile causes. So it just demonstrates the core values of Andrews and what we're all about in that respect. But yeah, hopefully that'll give you a little insight into the letting side of the business. But as everyone else has said, if you're on LinkedIn, you know, if you want to get in contact, you've got any questions, please feel free.
Love it. Thank you, Ed. That was awesome. You're right. There's a lot in lettings, right?
There is, yeah.
There's a lot.
I wouldn't want to bore anyone. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of legislation.
And again, there's been a few words that have popped out throughout this whole thing. The main one for me is building relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, Matt, you mentioned it as well. Let's be under no illusions. This is about building relationships with people, internally and externally. Okay, so our customers and internal customer, my customer, the employees, you guys. Thanks ever so much, Ed. I'm going to move on now, though. We're going to move on to Marta. And Marta, you're going to give us an overview on how to actually apply for jobs, roles within this company. So I'm just going to move the slide. There we go. Are you with us, Marta?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent.
So, yes, my name is Marta. I work as a talent acquisition for Andrews Property Group. My role here is really exciting because I try to help people in taking their next steps in their career path, their development, and I try to help them with finding the role which is matching their expectations, natural strengths, and in the same time, I'm trying to help business with bringing actually talented individual on board. What I really like in Andrews is that we give equal chances for all candidates to be considered for particular roles, and we do use a unique interview process which allows candidates to talk to us about their experience, and we obviously can make sure that the natural strengths possessed by the candidates fit our role profiles as well, and that way we think that we get the best out of the candidates and the best out of the job they really will enjoy. And we believe that basically this way of recruitment help us to find out more about our candidates prior to taking a role, and obviously to see how well would they suit the role and how then later on we can help them with the progression. In terms of considering the candidates, we can consider individuals from every single background when applying for the jobs. So candidates who are brand new to estate agency world, looking for their first proper job. Then more experienced colleagues who used to work for, let's say, the other estate agents in the past and want to develop their skills and progress under Andrew's supervision. Or the group of people who, for example, are skilled in the other background and have transferable skills actually, but fancy the career change. And obviously that is really amazing pleasure to help these people from all of these groups to get on board with Andrews and to start the adventure with us, and in the same time obviously help business to grow. To join our amazing team, obviously you need just to follow 3 simple steps. So I encourage all candidates to send me obviously CV to my email, which is currently on the screen, and also after the event, each of registered with us external people will be receiving the contact details to contact me directly. So please feel free to send me your CVs or initial contact details. I'm more than happy to give you a call back, discuss all the details about all existing vacancies, because as we previously mentioned, we got around, I believe, 50 different branches in whole UK. So the opportunities are there, and obviously, depending on the role, we have some specific requirements in terms of let's say location or experience, depending on role really and the vacancy for each region. And then obviously, if after initial chat, candidate will say that would like to join our team, would like to go for the interview, would like to try, then I will be more than happy with assisting and organizing face-to-face interview with our specialists, with our regional managers, branch managers, and assistant managers with the interview processes. And then I will try to make sure that onboarding process, if candidate is successful, is simple and easy. And I will try to help and support as much as I only can. So yes, please send me your CV. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marta. So there you have it. If you would like to apply, then the follow-up to these sessions, you will receive all the details relevant, as Marta has just mentioned. They'll be sent through to the email that you used to set up and join this session. Okay, so we're nearing the end. I am conscious of time as well. We have run over slightly, but that was always going to be the way with these wonderful guests of ours. Let me just move this slide along. This week's been incredible. We've run through all of these different specific roles and so forth, experienced roles, women in property, fancy a change in career, the new starter, and obviously finishing off today, role specific. Now, I'm going to hand over to you guys out there. I'm just going to throw it out to you all. Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask us now? I'm going to open up my chat page here, but of course, now is the time. If you wish to, you can unmute your mic and ask away. Ask any questions that you would like to. Now, it might not be the best. What should I say? The best place for you to ask a question. You might think, well, I'm going to have a think about it, and that's fine. That's not a problem at all. If on reflection you do have a question, then please just get in contact with us. I think, Kwaku, I think that you, bless you, I think you've been with us throughout the whole week. How are you doing, sir? It's great to see you on this final session as well. We've got a Amro here. Hi, Marta, I'm sending you my CV right away. I'm loving this. Oh, this is great.
Love these comments. Thank you so much.
They're wonderful. They're wonderful. So look, I don't want to put anyone on the spot here. As I said, if you've got any questions on reflection, just give us a call. You're going to have all of our contact details. Right.
A question, Jason, from Kwaku.
Sorry, can you say that again?
There's a question come in from Kwaku, which
let's have a look.
Where might he see himself in 6 months? I think that's, I'll have a crack at it, and anybody else can chip in. I think it very much depends on people's experience and aptitude. We've had some people join us who are just natural, pick it up immediately, and are very successful and could progress into broader roles. And there might be some people for whom it takes a little bit of time to adjust to what it is that we're doing. And therefore, need to develop before they can progress. But realistically, what we're looking for, I guess, if people are new to the industry, is to be targeting negotiator roles, to come in and start to engage with customers. More experienced people, if people have already got experience in the industry, then we're recruiting at a range of levels, so from negotiator through senior negotiator, branch manager, and even at the moment a regional sales director. So I think it depends on people's experience, would be my view, Kwaku.
That's a great answer. Kwaku, did that answer your question? Amro, I've got here. Oh, bless you. I thought that was a question. You guys have been amazing. I want to be part of this great team and learn from your experience. You know what? I can't wait to meet you, and it would be wonderful for you to join the team. Contact Marta, and yeah, wouldn't that be great? I could see you in our next induction program. That would be wonderful. Kwaku, excellent, thank you. Okay, I'm just anything else? Any other questions before we wrap up? Okay, so we've come to the end here. I really, truly want to thank all of our guests for everything that you've input, and for the individuals that have joined us throughout the whole week. But there's other people here as well, being the final session this week. A massive thanks to all the individuals behind the scenes that have put this this wonderful event together. So thank you very much. I hope that we all meet in the future. And if that is the case and you feel you'd like to join Andrews, you need to contact Marta. We're going to follow up with sending all the relevant information to you. But I believe that really is the end of the session. So just again, thank you very much. Does anyone else have anything to add? Carl, anything to add there?
No, nothing further to add, I don't think. I think it's been a really positive series of events throughout the week, and yeah, I'm really grateful to the people who've joined us to show an interest in Andrews. And I'm equally grateful to the Andrews teams who've been willing to spend their time sharing their experiences. And finally, I guess a huge thank you to Marta and Hannah and Ella and Sam, who have all been involved in coordinating these events during the week. It's been fantastic.
Absolutely, I second that. Thank you, everyone. It's been wonderful. Please do get in contact. I will see you all soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.